I'm here with Neel Desai. Neel, we're going to be talking about Procera. Now, Procera is more than just one product. Can you run it down? There's a new product too.
Well, Procera is sort of built on the whole concept of using cryopreserved amniotic membrane tissue, and this is now expanded from just amniograft, which is the loose intraoperative use amniotic membrane, to a whole product line of in-office use Procera devices. So we've started now with the Procera Classic, which is the symblepharon ring-based amniotic membrane tissue, and now we've expanded out into the Procera Slim, which is a softer, low-profile ring that is far more comfortable for patients, a slightly wider diameter, very easy to insert for your mild to moderate cases of keratitis or ocular surface inflammation and ocular surface disease. The Procera Classic is still reserved where you need some kind of space-occupying symblepharon ring to maintain the orbit. And then you've got the Procera Plus now, which is the double-layer amniotic membrane on the symblepharon ring for your most severe cases of Stevens-Johnson's, chemical keratitis, things of this sort.
Meaning that there are laminated layers. There are different layers of
Correct.
Amniotic tissue.
Well, one of the beauties of the cryopreserved tissue is that it maintains its cellular architecture. It maintains all of the active healing factors, the active molecules that have been shown to produce rapid reepithelialization without scarring, regenerating the fetal environment on the ocular surface, rather than wound healing in the adult pattern, which ends in scar tissue. And in the case of the visual system, of course, scar tissue means decreased vision. So the amniotic membrane, being cryopreserved, maintains also the cellular architecture, the intraoperative workability if you're using amniograft. And with the Procera Slim and the Procera Classic, it's just a single layer of amniotic membrane, roughly 100 microns thick. With the Procera Plus, you've got two layers of amniotic membrane that are sort of sandwiched onto that Procera ring. And so for your most severe cases of ocular surface inflammation, where you want a prolonged effect, the Procera Plus is ideal. Generally speaking, the Procera Slim and the Procera Classic will last about a week on the ocular surface on average, whereas the Procera Plus might last 2 weeks or longer for your most severe cases.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to ask, was whether more layers mean that that you have more biochemical effect, or does it mean that it lasts longer? And I mean, obviously the answer is that it lasts
yes,
longer.
Yes, the answer is yes to both sides of that equation. On one hand, we've had numerous studies, decades worth of research that have shown that two active molecules, the high molecular weight HCHA complexes, which is the heavy chain of I-alpha-I, which is a potent anti-inflammatory that's sort of in the fetal wound healing environment, as well as PTX3, which is sort of a catalytic enzyme that enhances binding of the heavy chain to the hyaluronic acid. Those two molecules, the high molecular weight HCHA complexes and the PTX3, have been shown to be present in high concentrations in cryopreserved tissue. There are other forms of amniotic membrane available that are dehydrated. We all know the differences between something that's cryopreserved and something that's dehydrated. Frozen ice cream versus space ice cream, prunes versus a fresh plum, beef jerky versus a fresh fillet. We kind of inherently understand the differences there. In this particular case, there's ample amounts of science that have been shown. I've actually presented papers at ARVO to this end, and so we've preserved the active molecules that are responsible for that pro-healing environment, that regenerative environment. And of course, now you have this double layer for a prolonged effect if you need it.
Well, Neel, thank you very much for spending time with us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.